Hello and welcome back to Pride of the Midlands TV. It's been 2 weeks since Walsall concluded the season away to Bromley. A lot has happened since then with the appointment of the new manager, and I'm going to really quickly go over all the news since that Bromley loss 2 weeks ago. So the released and retained list is out. There's a Father's Day event coming up. The Fans Forum is coming up as well. Lee Grant has been appointed as the new head coach. The youth player has moved on to Wolves. Rico Brown has supposedly rejected a new deal, and Adoma is still undergoing talks. We haven't heard much of that since. So let's quickly go into the retained players. Mason Hancock, Harrison Burke, Vincent Harper, Courtney Clark, Connor Barrett, Aaron Presley, Alex Patterson, Harry Williams, Sam Hornby, Ronan Mayer, Stan Straw, and Jago Godden, who is out on loan at Drogheda United until the 1st of January. And the club has exercised the option to extend the contracts of Jensen Kilroy and Elijah Ahui, and the extension of the scholarship option has been triggered for Will Etheridge as well, who also featured in for about 5 minutes in the final game of the season, which is good to see a youth kid getting a few minutes, which we haven't seen recently really in the past few years. So Rico Brown and Albert Adoma are under negotiations. Rico Brown has made 31 appearances so far for the club, scoring 1 goal and getting 1 assist. He's only 22 years of age, playing in right back and centre back. Rumour has it he has rejected a new deal with contracts coming in elsewhere in League One and League Two. But to be fair, I've been quite impressed with him in this season really. He's not put much wrong, and he's not really done that much right, but I reckon he's got a bit of potential in him, so hopefully he can stay. And Albert Adoma, Uncle Albert Adoma, what a player he is. He's made 105 appearances for the club, 13 goals and 11 assists at the ripe old age of 38. He's really good experience to have in the camp. He's obviously made over 700 appearances, which is utterly crazy. And he broke a record last season for getting the most 100 appearances with 6 different clubs, which is crackers really. But yeah, he's really good experience to have around the camp. His best use on the wing and as an impact sub mostly now. I think he's still got the legs, but week in week out games for the whole season he just wouldn't last, which is quite unfortunate. And he's also a very good character to have around. Everyone loves him, and he's just an EFL legend. So hopefully Uncle Albert Adoma can re-sign and stay until for next season, maybe even beyond. You reckon he can get into his 40s? I'd love to see that. And the release players. So Aidan Flint, Jamil Mack, Comley, Lakin, Jellis, Thomas, Ragg, Farcarson, Chang Weir, Jake Coleman has had his contract terminated by mutual consent, and Josh Gordon. Flint made 48 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist in a 1-year spell. He captained the club quite frequently last season. But first 10, 15 games maybe, he was outstanding. He won all the balls in the air, and I think his passing was fantastic. Those crossfield balls he used to love to do. But yeah, I think his legs have caught up to him. Playing in a back four, which Byfield favoured, it just didn't suit him. And yeah, I think the pace of League Two caught up, especially towards the end of the season. So yeah, 36 years of age now. I think the right decision was made to release him. Club captain Jamil Mack was also released. He made 140 appearances, 23 goals and 4 assists across a 3.5-year spell. He was obviously the club captain, but yeah, just like Aidan Flint, I thought his legs are just gone. This season he played more games I think he'd have expected, with Aaron Presley getting injured and having not much depth in that striker position again. But yeah, the season before last, 24-25, I thought he was fantastic with that Nathan Lowe partnership. He got 12 goals as well. That was by far his best season in the Saddler's shirt. And yeah, he just could never match the standards this season, and his legs are gone. So he's been a fantastic servant and he's a great guy, but his time has come, and I think he probably won't sign on to another team again. Brandon Comley, this one was a big surprise to most people. Brandon Comley made 151 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists across 4 seasons, and he has captained the club. He's the longest servant in the squad from last season and played CDM. I don't think he really did much wrong, but at the same time, he didn't do much right, really. At times, we did need him to break up the play and calm the tempo down. That was seen a lot when we had Lewis Warrington starting in that role at the start of this season. Luckily, he's moved on now to Tranmere Rovers, who narrowly escaped relegation. But yeah, Brandon Comley was quite a surprise to leave, really. I thought good bit of experience. He knows the club inside out, but yeah, a fresh start was needed, and he's one of the victims of that. Another victim of the fresh start is Charlie Lakin, who made 97 appearances, 5 goals and 5 assists across a 2-year spell after signing from Sutton United, something like that. Yeah, I thought Charlie Lakin was a very energetic player. He always gave his all, but he lacked some of that quality at the end. And yeah, first half of last season before, I keep on saying last season, the first half of the 24-25 season, I thought he was phenomenal, just like every single player in that team. And then the fall off happened. I thought he was okay at times for us this season, but yeah, his time ran out. Another player who's never looked the same since the start of that 24-25 season is Jamie Jellis. Made 100 appearances, scoring 8 goals and getting 4 assists across a 2.5-year spell after signing from Tamworth. It's a shame, really, that it's gone the way it has. Obviously, he had that nasty betting scandal, which I'm sure cast a shadow over him for quite a few months, and he's never really recovered from that. But on his day, I reckon he's a very, very good footballer, but it's a shame it hasn't clicked recently. Dylan Thomas, an academy scholar, he made 4 appearances, got no goals and no assists in proper games. Signed his first pro deal in May 2024 and scored the winner versus Tamworth in a friendly, which we won 3-2. Charlie Ragg, another youth scholar who made 2 appearances for us. He scored no goals and got no assists. He did have multiple loans where he impressed at Bromsgrove, Alvechurch and Howes Owen. And he scored twice in a friendly at the start of this season against Leamington, which many Walsall fans, including myself, were very excited, thinking he's the next big thing. It's a shame how that's turned out. Didn't really get much of a chance in the first team as well, apart from the friendlies. Precy Farquharson, another player who's been released. He made 59 appearances, scored 6 goals and 1 assist from centre-back. I thought on his day, Priestley can be one of the best defenders in the league. It's just a shame how his injuries have really slowed down his career. I mean, in the 24-25 season, he only made 3 appearances, which is a massive shame. At times, he can look a bit shaky on the ball, but yeah, I think the right decision was made to call it a day with Priestley. Best of luck to him with his Pokemon endeavours in the future. Another player who hasn't looked the same really from last season, and injuries have slowed down his career, Alfie Chang. Made 14 appearances across 2 spells with us. Last season he was on loan. Towards the end of the season we signed him on a free at the start in January of this season. He made 14 appearances across those 2 spells, getting 1 goal and 3 assists, and most notably that goal in the playoff semi-final away to Chesterfield on the half volley. It's a shame it didn't really work out for Alfie Chang. There's a really good player in him. Blues fans were really excited, and then he got a really, really nasty injury, and his career hasn't really kick-started after that. Evan Weir, this one's a bit of a bizarre one. He hardly played near the end of the season. I reckon he's already got a move lined up elsewhere. I think he's a fantastic player. 56 goals, 56 appearances, 4 goals and 9 assists across 2 seasons. We signed him from sister club Drogheda United. And yeah, we all thought he'd be the Taylor Island replacement. It's a shame it hasn't worked out with him. So yeah, on his day, he's a fantastic player. We saw that at Notts County away in the 24-25 season, that goal line clearance and the double assist, I think it was. He was fantastic. Some of them free kicks he whipped in at the start of this season, last season as well, was fantastic. So it's a shame to see him move on, but he is a very good player. Another player I'm convinced is a good player, Jake Coleman. He had his contract terminated by mutual consent. 8 appearances, no goals and 1 assist. He was only with us for this season. And we got him from Macarthur FC in Australia. It was his first move to the UK and his first move in English football. It's a gamble with those sort of players, whether they'll settle quick and hit the ground running. Unfortunately, it didn't with Jake Coleman. He got injured, I think it was away to Northampton in the Virtue Trophy. I think it was a hamstring injury, which is a shame because I reckon there's a really good player in there. He impressed so much at Macarthur FC. So let's hope he can kickstart his career after quite a troublesome season this year. And Josh Gordon, Flash. He made 35 appearances, 3 goals and 2 assists in his second spell with the club. Obviously, he joined us from Leicester, I believe it was, from around 2018 until 2021, where he moved on to Burton. And this season, we loaned him out to Barrow, where he scored 9 goals in 33 games. Josh Gordon was one of them players. He always gave his all. He always pressured, but he didn't really get that many goals, did he really? So, what you need from a striker is goals. Moving on, the Fans Forum, which is this Tuesday the 19th of May. It'll be in the Stadium Suite. Doors open from 6:30 for a 7 p.m. start. The following directors are in attendance for this. Co-chairman Lee Pomlett, who seems to be at the club for forever, even though it said he was supposedly moving on. CEO Ben Sadler. Travella VP of Finance Stephen Gamble, who we all know and love. And Experience and Engagement Director James Gibbons. And apparently there's a separate meet head coach / head of football event to be finalised in weeks to come. Also, if you would like me to live stream the Fans Forum, I need to know whether there's much interest, because if there's not, there's no point in doing it. So if you can't make it, let me know if you want it live streamed, and I can see if I can live stream it on the night. That's regarding the Fans Forum on Tuesday coming up. And then the big news, really, that has came out. Lee Grant has been appointed the new Sadler's head coach. He was appointed on the 14th of May. He's 43 years old and born in Hemel Hempstead. He's on a 3-year deal. Lee Grant replaces the interim Dan Byfield, who was interim after the sacking of Matt Sadler after the Salford loss away. And under Darren Byfield, we finished 13th. And 13 points from the playoffs. Quite a depressing season, really, after being top of the league at Christmas once again. Lee Grant was sacked by Huddersfield in January, and he was sacked in the playoff place, although their goals and ambitions were to be higher than that. He's made 500 plus professional appearances, including spells at Manchester United, Stoke City, Derby and Burnley and many other clubs. Lee Grant also holds a UEFA Pro licence, the top coaching badge that he can get. He's worked with quite high professionals such as Sean Dyche, Eddie Howe and Jose Mourinho. Lee Grant was also the assistant manager to McKenna at Ipswich, where they managed to pull off quite a miracle, really. Back-to-back promotions to the Premier League from League One. And during that time, they scored 193 goals in 2 seasons. That is ridiculous. And he's quite well known for trying to set teams up to be attacking and trying to get goals. And when he left Huddersfield, they were in a playoff position. He had a 41% win record, and notably beat Leicester and Sunderland in the Cup. Some of the key criticisms of Lee Grant during his time at Huddersfield is that he has inconsistent results, he lacks identity, he's inexperienced, and he's too corporate with his communications to the fans, and poor in-game management. That's something we saw quite a lot from Matt Sadler, the poor in-game management and inexperience. But he's had his first managerial spell now. Hopefully he's learned from that and can know what he put wrong and put it right here. On the corporate communication, we did see that in his first interview. I thought it was a little bit like a robot, a little bit AI. But if he gets us wins and he gets us promoted, then that's all that matters, isn't it, really? So, yeah. Some of the quotes from Lee Grant's interviews: he's delighted and proud to be at Walsall Football Club. He's He saw the shared vision across the board. And he is very fortunate to have worked with the top professionals. I think that's really important, to have learned from the best of the best and to try and put it into his game and his coaching and his style. His experiences and exposure in 3 different leagues, League One, the Championship and the Premier League. And once again, that is also really important, because it might not go, sometimes it might not be brilliant, sometimes it might be really good, and he has to make those decisions, and past experience can really help making those. And this, just touching back on the point where I think it's something like 193 goals in 2 seasons at Ipswich. This is a quote directly from Lee Grant's interview. The teams I've been involved in have scored lots of goals, and there's been a good development of players, and my ideas around that are strong. We want attacking football. I think sometimes the Matt Sadler football that we saw was depressing, to say the least. It was boring, it was dull. Having 20% possession against bottom of the league, against 21st, it was grim. So hopefully Lee Grant can bring an identity and more positive football, especially at home, where we did so awful last season at home. It was quite painful to watch. I mean, the heads at Walsall always bang on about Fortress Bescott, and it wasn't really a fortress at all. It was a fortress with broken walls last season. So hopefully he can bring goals, excitement, and actually enjoyable football to watch for the first time in quite a while at Walsall. So yeah, that 2 weeks on from Bromley, a lot has happened really. So I'll try and keep you maybe 2-week updates, a weekly update, depending on what happens. Hopefully we can see some players brought in. Hopefully Doma can re-sign his contract. And yeah, we'll see you at the Fans Forum, which is on Tuesday the 19th. That'll be interesting. I'm quite surprised none of the Americans are there, which is quite a shame. No Ben Boycott, and none of the hundreds and hundreds of heads and directors that Trevella seems to have appointed across their tenure at Walsall. Just Stephen Gamble is the only representative from Trevella, which is quite a shame, because we've had quite a few years with Stephen Gamble, so that should be interesting. Once again, if you need me to live stream it because you can't make it, please just let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you at the Fans Forum.